barrage of attacking weapons from this Bordeaux Begles side. Damien Penaud, chief amongst those. Tortured the Sharks last time out with a double hat-trick, 6 tries, 10 in the pool phase. Requires just one more this afternoon to match the all-time season record currently held by Trish Ashton. So much experience in that Ulster pack, in the shape of Rob Herring, 250 up for him tonight. Alan O'Connor as well. Nick Timoney, they'll all have to stand up and be counted, and Luke Pearce is the man in charge. All set to go in the bright spring sunshine then. Ulster have been slow starters too often this season. They can't afford a slow start this afternoon against Bordeaux Begles. They will be put to the sword. They found themselves 17 points down after 8 minutes in Belfast last week against the Stormers. Can't play catch up against this Bordeaux Begles side. Joey Carberry would love a tilt at Munster next weekend in the quarter-final of the Champions Cup. He was excellent when these two sides met in Belfast in December. Kicking from the tee was superb, and he orchestrated the backline brilliantly that day. But Ulster lived with Bordeaux for 60 minutes. They'll have to start well. There's an immediate knock forward from the kickoff. Andrew Trimble. A tough afternoon in prospect in the eyes of most Ulster supporters. What do they need to get right?
Yeah, huge task for Ulster today. That's not the way you want to start it. Obviously, the guys in the studio talked about a fast start, get into the game, make an impression straight off, and first up, give Bordeaux an opportunity, invite them into the game, make this crowd even rowdier and noisier, make it more intimidating than it already is.
One or two minor logistical issues, we understand, for Ulster making their way to the ground through the crowds in the packed streets. They were a little bit late upon arrival. It's a long, long walk through the cauldron of noise underneath the stadium to come up like gladiators into the arena. Ulster have spilled it forward here, and the set piece and the scrum in particular will be right under the microscope. Ulster have been very shaky at scrum time this season. Maxime Lucu, the arsenal of talent outside him. So often Penaud stands in there at first receiver. Carberry, already ominous signs here as Bordeaux try and break ranks around the outside with Roman Burros. Ulster get the reprieve of a penalty badly required after only 70 seconds.
Yeah, Ulster competing hard, came up straight and then just chased Bordeaux in that outside channel, competed hard at the breakdown and made Bordeaux come off their feet. A bit of a blueprint set by Munster yesterday. Their breakdown work was incredible. That's going to be one defensive win for Ulster. They're going to need to back that up several times today.
Almost 60% of Bordeaux's 33 tries, a record 33 tries in the pool phase, came off first phase, and there was anxious moments there for Ulster.
Yeah, Zach Ward just chopping down that fend, grassing him, and then competing hard.
Zach Ward, he's so effective in that department. Big lump of a winger coming into the side for Rob Balakoon, the unfortunate Ulster winger, unavailable once again. John Cooney, steady hand at the tiller. It's so important that he settles into his rhythm. Puts this Ulster side around the pitch and tries to get Bordeaux turned around as often and as much as possible, but they play so well off transition, those little half chances from 60, 70 metres deep inside their own half. Changing the point of the attack, changing the angles, difficult to nail down. Can't afford to fall off tackles. That front line of defence has got to be so rigid, so tight. Spilled forward potentially. That was the Ulster perspective on it, not given, and Carberry fires it down into the Ulster half of the field, into the hands of Jacob Stockdale, and away he goes. Stockdale sits down his opponent, makes 20 metres. Crucially, lovely little pop off the floor to McNabney. This is enterprising stuff from Ulster. There's hands in there over the ball. Tamafuna brings Ulster's first attacking salvo to an abrupt end, and away goes Maxime Lucu straight away, punches one down into the Ulster 22. Foot race all the way back to the line. Ward's got to be so careful here up against Uberti, and he is.
Yeah, you can see how dangerous Bordeaux are off turnover on that occasion. Just a quick tap. Lucu spots the space in behind. Someone like Jacob Stockdale, Mikey Laurie have already chased through, spent themselves at the other end of the pitch. Zach Ward is alert enough, He's not happy with that.
Murphy thumps one back down to halfway. So dangerous from all set-piece situations, and the goal line dropout becoming one of those. No way through initially for Pete Samu, who scored a lovely try against Racine last week in that defeat for Bordeaux Begles. Good hands now to bring in Lamotte into the line, the hooker. So abrasive in the carry, so too Samu, of course, with his pedigree. And back in off that wing, stepping hard off the left, Pablo Alberti in the side for Louis Biel Barret. But, well, a little pattern developing here, welcomely from an Ulster point of view inside the opening 5 minutes. Another penalty.
Yeah, off his feet again. Ulster going hard, left a couple of breakdowns. You can see how when that ball gets quick, Bordeaux looks so threatening.
Number 15.
Yeah, straight off his feet. The threat of Kieran Treadwell, he spots it. That's how desperately Bordeaux know they need fast ball. If they get fast ball, they absolutely get this Ulster backline chasing shadows.
Ulster will do all they can in the opening exchanges here just to try and slow things down. Almost impossible to quieten the crowd here, and overthrow to the line out. Swallowed up and gobbled up by Tom O'Toole. What can Ulster manufacture here? James Hume, great to see him back in that midfield position alongside his longtime partner Stuart McCluskey. Hands over the ball this time by Diaby in the jackal position, not rewarded by Luke Pearson. Skyward it goes from the boot of Jack Murphy. That's a really good kick. Super kick and a good kick chase, but expertly fielded in the backfield. Solid under the high ball. Coleman now takes it on for Bordeaux. Luku, does he spot a little bit of space in that Ulster backfield? It's quickly backtracked by Stockdale. Galvanised by that early run of his. Carberry. Bordeaux on the switch now, numbers on the short side potentially. Put it through the hands of Moefana, and suddenly the space appears for Penaud, and off he goes, Damien Penaud. Goodness me, that's sensational. Out of absolutely nothing. Damien Penaud matches the all-time record for tries in a season in the Champions Cup. The man who destroyed the Sharks here last time out picks up where he left off in the knockout phase.
Yeah, that kick return from Bordeaux was absolutely devastating. You talked about someone like Jacob Stockdale feeling buoyed after that initial carry. He chases too far in field. You can see Bordeaux sniffing an opportunity on the near touchline. They go straight back to it, get the ball into that man's hands. Penaud, it just looks so easy, so cruisy. His footwork is so devastating. His pace is incredible, and he's loving the occasion, the opportunity to play in front of his home fans and run from 50.
It's almost mesmeric the way he moves and glides over the turf, a swivel of the hips, and it's that lazy, laconic style that he has. He never seems to be going at full tilt, and yet nobody can lay a glove on him.
He's something else. Mads talked about it in the studio. Arguably one of the best wingers in the world. Has moments. We saw him at Twickenham where he coughed up the ball 3 or 4 times, but when he goes hard, when he steps, when he turns on the gas, he entertains, and he adds a huge threat for Bordeaux.
Not taken 7 minutes before Penaud breaks ranks and adds to his tally. 11 now for the season. Remarkable.
Maintenant, s'il vous plaît. Inside.
And those couple of early turnovers as Ulster looked to hang on, and all of a sudden punctured ruthlessly by Penaud and co. Nothing that Mikey Lowry, who had to make up a lot of ground to come across, could do against that little step. We've seen it so many times. You know it's coming. It's so hard to defend.
Yeah, the backfield looks reasonably busy. You've got a couple of guys corner flagging, a couple of Ulster backs just chasing back, but Mike Lowry just got stuck. Penaud will do that to you.
Harry to Treadwell at the back, and now in the hands of Stuart McCluskey. Runs a hard line straight over the top of Joey Carberry. Adequate speed bump from the Bordeaux Begles number 10 for now. Timoney completely reshuffled Bordeaux back row, back five in many respects this afternoon. That's the resources they have. Tom O'Toole.
Taken in.
Murphy. A little bit too much depth on that. Should be straightforward for Penno, the try scorer, and is. Fourth start in a row for Jack Murphy, incidentally. Extremely good last week against the Stormers. Learning all the while. You've got to learn on your feet at this level, in this environment, against this opposition. Mikey Lowry off in chase fractionally too long. Carberry comfortable and composed, playing rugby with a smile on his face, and all the while again bouncing back down this short side. Not a lot of pitch to work in. Mofana pulling the strings. Nicely done again by Samu. Ball is loose in there for Ulster. It's gone back, says Luke Pearce.
Okay, yeah.
In steps Cooney.
Taken in.
Murphy on the angle, finding grass, but it's running and running. Won't find touch on that far side. Ball still in play and available for Jack Murphy. Needs a little bit of support now. Bordeaux very good over the ball, a few better in that situation than Lamotte. Couldn't quite get his hands on it. Hume into Rob Herring, who was lined up a long way by Cazot. Into that second row this evening. Hume prods one through, asks the question of the back three. Luku now. Always makes it look like he has plenty of time on his hands. That's a super kick. Superb stuff from the scrum half.
Yeah, James Hume just probing the ball through, sees a little bit of space in the backfield. Luku, so experienced, just tidy that up and put it at the other end. Bordeaux just managing the tempo of this game nicely, just settle down into a slow tempo, but as soon as they get an opportunity, they absolutely come to life. Also just need to get that balance of playing that tempo that fits them, but also try and get a shot away. Sides do score tries against this Bordeaux team. They have to score tries today. They have to be competitive.
Yes, you put so much thought and energy into defending. You do have to attack and ask questions of Bordeaux as well. When the opportunity arises, they do cough up points.
Stripped in the tackle.
A little bit of risk and reward about their play, and as you say, it's almost rope-a-dope stuff, and then they come alive in sweeping backline moves such as this, and they find the space, and Penno threatens to go around the outside all on his own from the pass from Burros.
Brilliant bit of defence from Mikey Lowry there. John Cooney corner flagging allows Mikey Lowry just to get off. The skills and the execution here on the edge from Bordeaux. Just two sharp passes and tip it on again. John Cooney comes from nowhere, allows Mikey Lowry to get off, and he goes really hard. Learn from last time. Penno doesn't even have the opportunity to get that fend up. Mikey Lowry just gets underneath it hard.
Super cover tackle from Mikey Lowry, but as you say, ably supported by the work of Cooney off the ball to try and shut down that space. That's how hard you have to work to cut down the angles. Not easy.
The last 30 seconds has been exhausting. It's going to take 80 minutes of that from Ulster today to be anywhere near competitive. It took its toll on Kieran Treadwell already.
Big second row is in the wars. Yes, we were on duty for that game in Belfast in December, and Bordeaux on the back foot for an hour, and then they just seemed to come alive, and the game was out of Ulster's reach in 10 minutes, it felt like.
That's the French way, and Bordeaux do it, and Ireland did it, or France did it to Ireland in the Six Nations as well. They just have that flurry of activity. They bring their crowd into the game, especially when they're at home. So dominant, and in Belfast we saw that. 15 minutes they blew Ulster away. Ulster were really competitive for long periods in that game, and ultimately weren't even close on the scoreboard.
Plenty of work here to do for Herring and others. Juggled a little bit at the back of that Ulster line out, but snapped up by Tom O'Toole. Cooney taking the responsibility, showing his experience with a really good kick. 4 wins out of 4 in the pool, as we know. Only side to come through to the knockout phase with the maximum 20 points. First seeds, 33 tries, along with Toulouse in action later today in France. Also now Penno coming through the middle again. Luku. Burros. Snaffled momentarily by Jack Murphy. Poirot gets his hands free. Luku back inside to that man Moefana. Lovely hands again. Opportunity for Samu on the burst. They're looking dangerous.
Advantage. Advantage,
Pinched
Ulster.
crucially, brilliantly. Stockdale back inside now to Cooney, and McCluskey
Advantage
gets
over.
those levers free. David McCann roaring at him for the inside chicken wing pass. McCluskey couldn't quite get it away. Lowry.
Take.
Moments like this that Ulster will need to try and capitalise on if they can find any sort of space whatsoever.
Balls out.
Zach Ward certainly has the pace and power to hurt Bordeaux. Another brilliant tackle, stopping Rob Herring in his tracks and resulting in the turnover. And here they come now with Cazot. Clean pair of heels. Skips away from the tackle. Ulster on the attack, and now straight into the throes of defensive action. Joey Carberry, oh, that was clever and smart, just didn't have the space. Stockdale, that was important intervention.
Everybody's exhausted.
It's the quintessential cup tie end-to-end stuff, to use the soccer parlance. Ulster in a good position here. Will they be rewarded? It's coming back on the Bordeaux side eventually.
Use it, please.
After a real wrestling match. Cyril Cazot in that second row alongside
Okay,
Adam Coleman.
Nerf, s'il vous plaît.
Luku, he's so quick about his business. There's no respite on defence. You've always got to keep your antenna working. Inside the 22, that's a thunderous huge kick, and well covered in the end by Zach Ward.
Yeah, Zach Ward probably doing his team too, and everybody in the pitch a favour. Bring that tempo down.
Exhausting, searing heat, even this early in the season. The tempo team, we know what they can do on transition. Currently sitting 5 points behind Toulouse in the Top 14. 6 rounds to go in that competition, of course. Beat Toulouse right off the back of the Six Nations.
Yeah, Mikey Laurie coming up with a couple of big plays. Stockdale did enough to compete over the ball and gets that big miserable fend to the face of Moefana. Gets to the edge. The big names from Ulster, their experienced players, are stepping up so far in the first 15 minutes today. Another big turnover, just charges down, picks it up, shakes Joey Carberry down for his lunch money. Manages to find a right boot, a less educated right boot from Jacob's perspective.
That stings, shirt.
Every opportunity taking fluids on board.
All right, lads. You don't have to, that.
Last home game that I mentioned, that game against Toulouse, by the way, here at the
Thank you. Time.
Chaban-Delmas. Bordeaux were 29-0 up at half-time. They were simply irresistible in the first half. Toulouse came back into it in the second half to make it a contest, but they were brilliant in the first half. Real statement of intent.
More.
Rumbling forward. Maul's a weapon also. Lamotte well placed. And they've broken the first line of defence there. Lamotte still connected, still going, and now he breaks away, pumps the legs, thunders towards the line, makes it up to 4 metres shy. All hands to the pump here defensively for Ulster to try and quell this Bordeaux attack. Diaby, can he get low enough to get in under Dave McCann? No, he pops it away. Lovely little bit of disguise and deception. And over goes Big Ben for the second try of the afternoon.
Yeah, different type of flex from Bordeaux. Go to the maul, get it into position, get that shape correct, and then just drive straight through the heart of this Ulster pack. Ulster did well not to give away a penalty. They were in reverse. Tumafuna just pumps his legs. They get direct, they get physical, and they start bullying. They've got two weapons. They can either go wide and bedazzle this Ulster backline with footwork and pace, or they can just go big, powerful and direct. On that occasion it's the latter. Equally as effective.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? We spend so much time eulogising about this Bordeaux Begles backline that, make no mistake, they are big and powerful. They've added the cattle here and there over the last couple of seasons to be able to compete with the La Rochelles and the Toulouse in that department, and they showed it there with Tamafuna. 150 plus kilograms of power from short range. You won't stop him. And it is beginning to look like that fast start that Ulster feared. 14 points in a hole, 17 minutes in. And sometimes you just look at the scoreline and hold your hands up and say Ulster haven't done a huge amount wrong. It's been wave of attack after attack from Bordeaux. Mikey Lowry. Ulster have got to manufacture a way to find a foothold in the game somehow. Contrive to get field position. They can't be counter-rucked in those situations and turn over the ball there.
That's okay.
Helped out by the whistle of Luke Pearce.
Number 1 is okay playing the ruck, but not taking the 9. He pulled the 9's jersey to finish. Made the hole.
Yeah, he pulled the 9. John Cooney gets dragged into that, but Ulster probably a little bit fortunate, a little bit pedestrian. Mike Lowry, a little bit indecisive, carries the ball, then eventually gets manhandled. James McNabb stands by, needs to get in there really quick. Ulster probably a little bit fortunate. Bordeaux just overstepped.
You mentioned those raft of changes for Bordeaux. They are missing quite a few through injury as well, as indeed are Ulster. The likes of Cormac Izuchukwu and Ian Henderson, who bring so much to this Ulster side. Izuchukwu in particular saw him at his very best in this competition against Exeter with 3 tries. Now away comes Mick Timoney into Stockdale. Diaby, a menace at the breakdown, can't quite get his hands on to slow it down. Treadwell, nice little flat pass to the line to bring Ulster forward. Relatively unexplored territory, this Bordeaux 22 in the opening 19 minutes here for Ulster. Composure required. Tom O'Toole takes it on. Ulster need a scrum half.
Play now, please.
Murphy. Timoney. Timoney takes it on.
No, not yet.
Cooney. No real pace or menace about this attack until now, and they change things up. Zach Ward is a man munching over on the far side, but that's just misjudged fractionally by Jack Murphy. Interesting tactic.
I think it's a nice play. Zach Ward's in a little bit of space. Bordeaux just getting high, just getting a little bit greedy in defence, trying to get hard, trying to get straight, trying to ask questions to this Ulster phase play. On that occasion, just a little bit of inaccuracy, but nice bit of variety from Jack Murphy.
And they'll have to be smart and cute like that. 6'3", Zach Ward, Ireland's Olympic sevens player. Didn't quite have the height to bring that. But still a good field position for Ulster here, and Rob Herring mixed things up. They've been adventurous, and this time it's contested at the tail and turned over. Precisely the type of opportunity on which Bordeaux thrived. You can't give them these kind of spaces. Penno again just steps away inside from Mikey Lowry, picked up by Tapui. And there is the Ulster 22 once again in the blink of an eye. Lovely little pass from Carberry, the cadence on it to get the pass away to Cazot. They're beginning to purr and hum, and again it comes off Ulster attack, and look where Ulster find themselves, camped 5 metres out. Treadwell very close to winning that turnover, and then the line beckons in the reach for their former Wallaby Adam Coleman, and just like that Ulster further in arrears, one end of the pitch to the next in the blink of an eye, and Ulster back under their sticks, wondering why that happened, how that happened, and how to stop it.
Yeah, Ulster chasing shadows, obviously set piece inaccuracy. Bordeaux will make you pay. That occasion goes through Joey Carberry, goes through the hands. Penno goes through Mikey Lowry like he's not there. They keep the pace up. If they get fast ball, the ball stays fast. Tom O'Toole trying to solve problems. Ulster in disarray, really trying to get up, get in that space and cause disruption to this Bordeaux phase play. Kieran Treadwell tried to come in, poach that ball.
3 to go.
Ultimately, really, it should have been either a penalty one way or another with Treadwell in there. Adam Coleman does the job, gets it over the line ultimately.
Joey Carberry just works that right to left on the little high draw. Beautiful strike from the kicking tee. And we are suddenly in a point a minute or thereabouts range for Bordeaux. Some huge scorelines across the weekend, a try-scoring frenzy. Massive aggregate scores. First Champions Cup start of the season for Adam Coleman in his second season here. 8 times capped Australian, taking his opportunity. Mikey Lowry foraging forward for Ulster. Warwick. McNabney now picks it up from Jack Murphy. Once again, Bordeaux in position, and that's an easy pinch, really. Poirot, I think it is in position to win the jackal, and Joey Carberry now, he's playing with a real freedom and fluency. Look at the hands. Lamotte gets his pass away. Diaby, 2 on the outside, more on the inside. And had that been left for Lamotte as he kicks out in frustration, well, maybe that was a 4th try.
Yeah, as soon as Bordeaux put that long pass and get that tip on, Ulster send a defender up. If he can't solve that problem, it looks every bit like a 7-pointer. Go to the edge. That turnover is just so good. Jefferson Poirot just pops up, picks up the ball easily. Candy from a baby. Frustration for Bordeaux that they weren't clinical enough to put that away.
And it's too easy the way they've been picked off there at the breakdown from an Ulster point of view. It's going to be a very long afternoon here if this continues in that vein. Yeah, Joey Ulster. Carberry just really enjoying himself out there, isn't he? And who wouldn't in this back line? He always seems to have a little second extra time and space, but that was just beautiful when he put it through the hands.
Yeah, his eyes just light up when they get turnover. Jefferson Poirot there just gets on the ball, provides him with that opportunity. Ulster just a little bit hesitant, just hesitating, just coming up to the ball, or they're tired. They put in a big defensive effort this first 15 minutes in the heat, starting to wilt a little bit now.
And that is the concern, that is the worry. A long way to go here. Noel McNamara's Bordeaux attack back line absolutely on fire thus far. Generally 40 points a game or more every game in the pool phase. Ulster did well to keep it to 40-19 in many respects, comparatively speaking, in that pool phase. They've got to get something going here with Stockdale as he takes it from Murphy. Back inside now to his other winger, Zach Ward. Explosive pace. Ulster try and play quickly. A little nudge through for 2 would-be Ulster attackers, just picked off again. Bordeaux every time. Jouer the option, they want to go from deep.
Not yet.
There's no respite, there's no breather for Ulster. Luku just punches one down into Ulster territory here. Cooney. Straight down the middle, and Cooney's overcooked that. Has he? Yes, he has. You heard the cry from somebody on the effects mic down pitch side saying sit, like a golf ball bouncing off the back of the green. It didn't listen.
Yeah, needs to take the divot after the ball. Put a little bit of action on that. Got a hold of it.
No, that's the obvious question. How do you cope with this multitude of threats, strings to bows? And, well, if we had the answers, Bordeaux wouldn't be where they are.
Yeah, Jack Murphy kicked away a ball there, but it probably looked like the right decision. There's a little bit of space in behind. Just couldn't quite get it past the slips.
So pressure once again, this time of a different nature at set piece time. Away they go, Luku. All hands to the pump. Alarm bells ringing again. Constant din in Ulster ears over the opening 26 minutes plus here. Burros now into contact and sets it up for Luku. Hands this time against Diaby. They don't seem to make too many mistakes.
Yeah, Ulster probably thank Pierce for going straight to the free
If you
kick.
stand and just look at me, then we're going to get free kicks both ways. Okay, when you crouch and I see a problem, I'll intervene. Let's play.
Yeah, Luku trying to get Diaby just come hard and straight, carry that ball, getting gain lines at ease.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Ulster, yes please.
Solid Ulster scrum. Cooney feeds Murphy, who's available on the wraparound from McCluskey. A little bit of space in front of the Ulster fly half here to release Jacob Stockdale, testing his pace against Penno on the inside. All here for Ulster. Murphy now swallowed up by a phalanx of 3 Bordeaux jerseys. They keep it alive brilliantly. David McCann now from Timoney's pass. Ulster up to 5 metres. Treadwell. Brilliant Ulster move. Tom O'Toole forced back a metre or 2. McNabney now has a go. Options here for Timoney's, a little bit all on his own. A long way to make that pass to McCluskey. That's who the Ulster want to get it to. McCann will take it on again. 2 metres shy. Stockdale holding the width. Bordeaux organised defensively as Ulster try and come around the corner, make the hard yards with Timoney. He's under pressure here. Cries of turnover from Bordeaux. They don't get it. Ulster go wide now, out the back. All a little bit muddled in midfield. There is a penalty offside. And Ulster will come back for that now. Well, you felt they had to score there. They might yet get another opportunity from the penalty.
Yeah, not sure who the Bordeaux player was that was offside. Diaby or Poirot might have been.
And they've gone quickly. McCluskey here. Stockdale poised. It might not come that wide yet. Rob Herring takes the responsibility, and they've got their Ulster drive their way over from close quarters. Tom O'Toole comes up with the ball. And Ulster have a foothold in the game. They have points on the board and they have reward for their effort.
Absolutely, Ulster deserve this. They deserve a try. They've played some good rugby today. They've asked questions of Bordeaux and they've got to the edge. Jacob Stockdale has been very, very good. He put them in this position. Lovely little wraparound Sexton-esque. Jack Murphy coming around the corner, getting out of their 22, and then they hand it over to the big boys. Let them grind it out. And they've come to play as well. Brilliant stuff from Ulster. Keep it direct, keep it physical. We've seen this side of Ulster over the last number of weeks. They've been developing it. They've been able to start contributing to big games, big moments in games. Tom O'Toole with the finish.
John Cooney makes no mistake, and that's so important in the context of this game. From an Ulster point of view, hit 3 times below the watermark, taking on water, sinking ship, and they've managed to salvage it with a try for now at least. It's something to build on, and for those travelling supporters to get excited about. Great finish from O'Toole. But you're right, Jacob Stockdale heavily involved. A nice little bit of interplay with Jack Murphy, who, let's not forget, is only 20 and playing in a fixture like this.
Yeah, the pace from Stockdale. Just taking on Penno, I think it was, on the outside, and he just went straight at him. Looked confident, looked direct, looked pacey.
It's great to see for a player who's been beset by injuries. Really disappointing in the Autumn Nations series against Fiji to have to go off when he looked razor sharp with an injury. £21 to 7, 10 minutes to half-time. 3 tries to 1. And penny for the thoughts of Yannick Brew and his coaching ticket up there, and indeed on the other side of the ledger for Richie Murphy. Now have Ulster poked the bear, so to speak. David McCann making tackles. No let up from an Ulster point of view. Rob Herring in very physical there on Sam Mafuna, as they have to be. Luku nowhere to go, swallowed up by Andrew Warwick. Try against the Stormers last week for the loose head prop. Collector's item of sorts. Carberry's hands couldn't quite get there in time. Really difficult pickup. Ulster put into the scrum.
Yeah, just that knock on from Joey Carberry, just trying to link to the edge. They get so excited once they get quick ball, just try and get the ball into the pace, out wide. Joey Carberry just can't quite link. Ulster hanging tough, long periods, moments in this game where they're able to come up with a big defensive play. Helped a little bit by Bordeaux being a little bit inaccurate at times.
Such a difficult place to come, but not quite the impenetrable fortress this season. 11 wins and 1 defeat. That came in January against Lyon. Albeit Lyon won it with a penalty in the 79th minute. They've actually lost home and away to Lyon in the top 14 this season, Bordeaux.
Rapid reset, s'il vous plaît. Okay, let's bind up.
So much in reserve as well, as we got a shot of Mathieu Jalibert. Absolutely exceptional in that victory I spoke about after the Six Nations against Toulouse.
Crouch. Bind.
Nicolas Deportier, Archer Retier, Johnny Gray, Lachlan Swinton, Tatafu and others all unavailable through injury this afternoon for Yannick Brew as well. So plenty more to come back in. McCluskey, better little spell from an Ulster point of view. Bordeaux level maybe just dropping off ever so slightly. Cooney. Murphy, that's a lovely pass over the top to release McNabney, and here go Ulster, and then thunderous tackle. Tapui absolutely cutting the Ulster player in half. Mikey Lowry quickly back to his feet. Murphy again, much better from an Ulster point of view. Hume, lovely pass to McCann, balls in the air a long time, which invites the pressure from Uberti. Zach Ward, there's a little bit of energy about Ulster now. Belligerence, big carry again from Zach Ward. And look where Ulster find themselves now with options out the back, mixing things up. Alert to the fact that Stockdale is razor sharp and he gets on the ball. His little involvements in the game are important. Ulster will take the penalty all day long.
Yeah, once Ulster get the foothold in behind Bordeaux, they look threatening. Need to keep that pace high though. As you say, Zach Ward looking belligerent, fighting, spinning, twisting, turning, stepping, pumping his legs. He could spot the threat over that breakdown, just picked it, didn't wait for John Cooney to get there, pick it, keep the tempo up.
You okay, mate?
This is great from McNabney.
Oh, okay. Is that the issue on the last?
It's a choke slam, is it? WWE?
Yeah.
Tapawai, big head on Mikey Lowry.
I'll make sure they don't go head on head, and then we'll just crack on.
He takes this well. Little fella, but he's tough. He got straight back to his feet again, gets punished.
Outside of Mikey Lowry's radar, he might have fancied the solar plexus was exposed there, lined up from a long, long way out. A little bit of difficulty for Zach Ward, and may have dislocated a finger, but it's been popped back into place. I think he looks okay. So too Andrew Warwick.
Head on head.
Well, it was relentless pace, wasn't it, the opening 15-20 minutes? No surprise that it's calmed down to a civil pace for the last 10 minutes, and it's brought Ulster back in it of their own design, I might add.
It's been a little bit more a slower pace, but then there's been bursts of life in this game. Bursts of brilliance. Mainly from Bordeaux, but certainly a few from Ulster.
Richie Murphy at pains to point out that they've been pretty happy with many aspects of their attack in recent weeks. 3 wins on the bounce in the URC. They have been fragile and brittle at times in defence, for sure, but their attack certainly a work in progress and improving. As their launch off first phase attack from that scrum, which was solid into McCluskey. McCann is over it. McNabney in close attendance. Is there space for McCluskey again? Wrestling with Guido Petty, the big puma, bundling McCluskey backwards. Ulster need to protect the ball here. Luku's in there, he's got his hands on it. Won't get the decision, he may well have. There's been a few of those in the opening 35 minutes on both sides. O'Connor sets Ulster in motion again. Herring. McNabney in the thick of things. Timoney drives those legs, he's got so much power. Well, he's made it almost as far as the line. Doesn't want to get dragged over and be held up. Still there for Ulster. Big moments in the game if they can add another score here now. Down Embers, 5 minutes to half-time. It was McCann who took it on. Now, where is the ball in the middle of all that? It's very close to the line, but short. Oh, it's on the line. Try scored. Luke Pearce comes around. It appeared that the ball was on the line, and it is David McCann. The crowd not happy in sense, but that's brilliant work from the Ulster pack of forwards.
Yeah, tap away. I think his body language gives it away in the end. He spots the ball on the line and he tries to cover it up. Nick Timoney just gets way further than you thought he was going to get. You can hear the Ulster player shouting, release, release. If he releases, he scores. On this occasion, Dave McCann spots it.
You right?
And he's got enough to get over.
Yeah.
You can see the ball, just the tip of the ball hitting the line. Tapawai spots it, does everything he can to block it. Pearce is very patient with him, get out of the way, try giving. Great stuff from Ulster's pack. French crowd have interpreted that differently.
Surprise, surprise. Yeah, it's very good officiating from Luke Pearce in particular.
Cameraman's going to get sacked for showing that one.
Okay to play, yeah. Thank you.
Well, well. Lovely strike from Cooney. Dissects the uprights, sneaks it in at the left-hand post. It's been a really, really big 10 minutes from Ulster. They have found a way back into it.
There's that initial hit from Bordeaux, as you can see. Then Dave McCann just maintains his patience. He gets his teammates in behind him, and he's got enough weight just to wait for that initial surge of defence, that hit, and then just ride that, and then place the ball. Great stuff from Dave McCann. Probably an argument he's scrambling on his knees.
Ulster, use it, please.
All of a sudden, we're back to a 7-point game.
Ulster, use it, please.
And what we have, we protect. Must be the Ulster motto now for the last couple of minutes of this half, because you know that Bordeaux, through sheer annoyance that Ulster have had the audacity and temerity to score a couple of tries in quick succession, will hit back here for sure.
I don't know if that is the right mindset. What you have to protect, that's exactly how you invite that pressure. Ulster have to keep playing.
Who's +1, s'il vous plaît? 2 minutes now. On the line,
but they've angered them.
Number 5
They could well pay the price for that.
21 points to the good before Ulster landed a couple of quick fire shots, and they might just play off this here. McCluskey in quickly to snaffle that up.
No, 12. No, you're never on the ball.
Cooney. Hume facing up a couple of sizable Bordeaux opponents.
Okay,
Cyril Cazot among those. Now Cooney again. Strong carry again. Ulster's back row have fronted up in the last 15 or 20 minutes, finding space. Murphy now pulling strings. McCluskey. Lowry wanted it. Almost got it, I'm not sure. Risk and reward, he might have got the pass away. There was space there. This is much better from an Ulster point of view. Those little short passes. And then when the opportunity arises, they spin it wide. Murphy again available on that wrap. They need to be careful here. Penno and to make the tackle, and Tal Mafuna appeared to be off his feet. Hume scrambling. Not the intention, but forced to kick it. Good kick chase. Now Carberry, did he catch that cleanly? Away goes Joey Carberry, needs support. And it comes on the inside, and this is where they can keep it alive. They refuse to die with the ball, and Cazot gets his pass away. Brilliant. Samu, the line beckons, the pass to Diaby. On the momentum, the surge almost brings him there, but it brings the space. Burros goes over right on half-time, a 4th try for Bordeaux.
Yeah, Burros with a big finish, but I think every member of that Bordeaux pack end up with an offload, a carry. And it's Joey Carberry gets them going first of all. Lovely pick-up from him. Burros it is as well, in the middle of it. Bordeaux carrying, just looked like they had as many carriers as they required. Keep their feet going, beat that defender, get that offload. And then Luku, the composure to get to the edge to Burros. And he finishes, point proven. Ulster need to hold on to that ball. They look tired. James Hume obviously identified they're tired, they're exhausted, they lost their shape.
Yep.
They're going to be a lot more tired when they chase Bordeaux all the way back to their line.
Well, in the end, it was a straightforward finish for the fullback, Roman Burros. It was light work for a player of his caliber, but as you say, so many hands making light work. They all got involved, and Carberry and Burros started the move that the fullback finished.
Yeah, the problem is you go into every single one.
And it's a further warning that Bordeaux can cut you apart from all angles, all areas of the field. So good in attack. It's been an enthralling opening 40 in the southwest of France, and it's 28 points to 14 in advantage of Bordeaux at half-time. All set to go then in the bright sunshine. Mercury rising all the way through this afternoon. Really enterprising opening 40 minutes from an Ulster point of view. 28 points to 14. The last time an Ulster side was here away in Bordeaux, October 2016. The final score, Bordeaux 28, Ulster 13. Ian Madigan, the starting fly half for the home side on that occasion. Bordeaux Begles scored 3 tries in the last 6 minutes. Would Ulster have taken this position? Yes, absolutely, you would bet they were. 22 points. The bookmakers had Bordeaux favourites, so they've beaten the bookies in the opening 40 minutes. It looked even better than that right up to 40 minutes, 21 points to 14. That try from Roman Burros, a bitter pill to swallow from an Ulster point of view, but very much something to build on. And at times, regular times, in the opening 40, we've seen the very best of Bordeaux on attack. The searing heat, the fatiguing heat of Bordeaux. It'll be interesting to see what transpires over the next 40 minutes. Think back to Belfast in December, as we mentioned again, 26 unanswered points in an explosive last 20-25 minutes from Bordeaux. That'll sit in the minds of these Ulster players. Front row change for Bordeaux Begles meanwhile. Mathis Perchot has come into the fray for Jefferson Poirot, Bordeaux's all-time record caps holder. Stuart McCluskey flat to the line, on it goes to Mikey Lowry. Was there a touch from an Ulster hand in there to make that a knock on?
Forward pass, lads.
There's your answer. Forward pass in any case. It was. That's what Ulster have got to do. More of the same. It seems like the cavalier attitude and the approach from Richie Murphy is asking for trouble from Bordeaux point of view, but you have to play against them. They will give you chances and you've got to take them.
Absolutely, they have to play, and we've seen Bordeaux kind of come in and out of this game. When they're in this game, they're looking huge, physical, dominant, fast. They're looking so dynamic, but occasionally they slip off tackles, and Penno slipped off McNabney earlier on. They're finding space. Jacob Stockdale's done really well, so Ulster need to continue to play. They'll get shots away on that occasion, nowhere near accurate enough to challenge this Bordeaux defence.
Tight just went in.
Bordeaux free kick. Poirot being heavily strapped on that Bordeaux Begles bench. Such a popular player, a talismanic character and a big leader in this side for, well, 12 years or more since his arrival in from Brive. Now, which way is this going? It's coming back on the Ulster side.
Yeah, Stuart McCluskey was there. That's a dark alley. Whenever you go high into him, I think he just managed to wedgie Diaby, hold on to the ball, keep him up high, got his teammates to come in, and eventually 5 minutes later Pearce calls them all.
By any means possible, fair or a foul.
Let's see if we get a scrum. A couple of bent arms off scrums today, haven't had the chance. I'm not really a scrum enthusiast anyway.
I was wondering, yeah,
to be honest.
Crouch!
Plenty of chat out the back being led there by Stuart McCluskey. What's Ulster have up their sleeves if their pack of forwards can give them the adequate platform? Cooney to the aforementioned double centurion as he was last weekend. 200 up for Stuart McCluskey. They find a way to win against the Stormers, having come from a long way behind. Now Mikey Lowry. Lowry gets a little bit of open country, then the switch from Stockdale towards Zach Ward. That's backwards. The little dink through, and possible option here for Timoney if Ulster can get flat and get it wide. Stuart McCluskey now. Bordeaux have filled the field and the space that was momentarily there and available for Ulster if they can move it quickly. Nice little break from Lowry again, showing those chinks in the armour of Bordeaux Begles defensively. Cooney. Snap of the hands. Murphy, nicely done. Lovely little switch.
Off feed 23.
And this time, penalty against Stuart Moore, who's come into the fray in this second half from an Ulster point of view, right in front of Luke Pearce.
Yeah, Tommy Funa's been unlucky. He's contested a couple of poaches in the first half, didn't manage to get them. On that occasion, Stuart Moore senses the danger and then just rushes to get there, comes off his feet, doesn't allow the battle to happen. Tameifuna, no doubt, was about to poach that ball. Those first couple of breakdowns, when Ulster come off the touchline, they're absolute battles. They're tough. They have to win those, and then it softens up after that. So you take the punishment. This occasion, lovely play. I think Stuart Moore it is. No, it's Jack Murphy's trying to get Mikey Laurie a little bit flatter, a little bit wider. He has to wait for him, and they just lose the initiative there.
Colin Reid as well, as you can see, is out there for Ulster, having come in for Andrew Warwick. So a couple of switches. Diaby takes it on. It was a really good delivery from Lamott to hit his target at line out time, and now they're pouring forward. Cazot and Maxime Lucu, big shot going in on Joey Carberry. Big hit, was it Colin Reid? I think Carberry felt that one. Ulster tackling hard and aggressively, coming off the line fast. Lucu is taken out of it, and then there's a scramble. Rob Herring is in there.
Just a penalty.
Yeah, penalty advantage here for Bordeaux. Penno, and off he goes, the circuitous route around. Just forgot the ball.
Just a penalty.
Yeah, everybody gets nervous when Penno gets his hands on the ball. He's not sure where he's going. He's going left, he's going right. Looks like he's going to zig and he zags. Ulster defenders just sitting off him, giving him more space, and he coughs up the ball. For a second we saw Twickenham Penno. No doubt he'll be straight back to South of France Penno. I think it's Stuart Moore comes in with a big hit on Joey Carberry. Rocks him, hurts him. Lucu then gets taken out as well.
Slowly back to his feet after some medical assistance. He felt every little bit of that.
Beautiful, eh?
Ulster won't thank Stuart Moore for injuring Joey Carberry. Here comes Jelly Bear.
Be careful what you wish for. So the opening points of the second half executed via the boot of Maxime Lucu. 31 points to 14. And confirmation of that switch. The noise from the home support will tell you the imminent arrival of Mathieu Jalibert as Yannick Bru begins to go to his bench, both up front and behind the scrum. Did that go forward from Uberti? Seemed like it had to. Falatia then in for Tao Mafuna in that Bordeaux Begles front row as Maxime Lucu tidies up. Won't find touch, kept in play by Zach Ward. Butcherton in the second row for Coleman as Ulster come on the attack now. A little bit loose, intended for McCann. Probed through by Murphy. Did that bounce on the whitewash? It's a good net result.
Yeah, nice ball. Looked like there was plenty of space. Jacob Stockdale, if he's a channel wider, he's the guy you get the ball into the hands of him. He just goes sideways a little bit, puts it, and the pass is a little bit inaccurate to Jack Murphy. Nice decision from Jack.
They mix it up at line-out time. Pete Samu takes it off. Another pinpoint accurate dart from Lamott. Lucu gets great length on those kicks.
Out of the 10! The 10!
The opposite the case in riposte from an Ulster point of view there. A real scrap forward in midfield.
Inside, 50-22
Tapui wins it against Stuart Moore. 50-22 is on now. Which side of the line did that bounce? Just outside, I think. Assistant referee was trying to make up the yards. He's changed his mind.
The crowd convinced him.
Yeah. A gentle encouragement from the 35,000. Maybe a little help from the TMO as well. Guido Petty. He's one more line-out ball than anybody else in the competition in the pool phase. Doesn't matter if he's in at open side flanker this evening. Now Lucu gets it away to Tapui. Jalibert, first real involvement for him, and Burros has Uberti on the outside. More work for Mikey Laurie to do in a rearguard action for Ulster. And they're going back all the way for an infringement on the far side.
Yeah, Tom O'Toole, I think it was, swimming up the maul. Nice from Ulster. Cover that lovely ball just in behind, asking questions. Mikey Laurie turns, does really well. But Bordeaux, as dangerous as they are, whenever they play off that maul, when they've got penalty advantage, they're a nightmare. There it is, Tom O'Toole straight up the side.
Front quad's yours, Ed. Nice, +1.
6 metres out, Maxine Lamotte. He's been very good in that department all afternoon so far. Strong Ulster maul defence initially. Now, can they maintain their shape? Bordeaux patient initially, and they're going all the way. They'll get there, you know. Lamotte crashes over. Biding his time all the while in the box seat there, able to survey what was in front of him. Well, it wasn't a surge of power, it was more inch by inch. And they find their way to that Ulster try line for a 5th time this afternoon.
Yeah, they've tightened things up. They've obviously got that gear, as we saw earlier on in the game. Bordeaux looked like Ulster had just stemmed it, and they just had enough to keep that last bit of surge and just get over the line.
Bordeaux?
And that's the power game again, much in evidence.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Jalibert, it's drifting. Just the try for now. 36 points to 14. 5 tries to 2. .33 tries in the pool stage, matched only by Toulouse. Joint record in this competition over the pool phase. Now can Ulster get something like they did in the first half, get a second wind almost after a couple of sucker punches? Stuart McCluskey now gets those hands free. Doak in for Cooney. Ulster go further to the bench, dipping into their reserves of energy as much as anything. Mikey Lowry keen to get involved in the attack. He's had so much to do defensively. Treadwell out the back, and 2 or 3 times that little bit of cohesion has been lacking from an Ulster point of view. Ball to ground doesn't help matter. Stuart Moore trying to make amends. Doak now. McNabney. Doak again, tries to dink one down that short side.
I think that's good from Nathan Doak. Just feels like Ulster have lost their shape, lost a little bit of an accuracy when they come out the back. They just haven't been able to make that link seamlessly. Got to carry hard. If they're not going to carry hard, Nathan Doak wants to put them in the corner and manage this game a little bit, manage to find a way to try and get back into this game as they did in the first half.
You've got to pick your battles at times, play the percentages. Carnival atmosphere, as it always is here. Brilliant stadium, brilliant setting for top-tier rugby at a European level. This competition very much on the radar after a couple of near misses. Sometimes you've got to lose a final or two to make it all the way in this competition, and the growing consensus is that they're very, very close now. Bordeaux Begles chastening top 14 defeat at the hands of Toulouse in the rear view mirror. Now they're looking forward. Ulster now playing a little bit of rugby. Lovely little exchange, and Mikey Lowry was almost away. Doak again to Murphy. Which way will this bounce? Perfect from an Ulster point of view. That's super again from young Jack Murphy at fly half.
Lovely spot, just feels the pulse of where they're at. Just feels like enough Bordeaux defenders to get out, and they're in good shape, so he puts it in behind. Great stuff from Jack Murphy.
3-on-2, Ulster outnumbered out wide, so perfect option. Execution excellent. Haven't got much change out of this Lamotte line out though. Lots of moving parts, and that's a brilliant take right at the apex of the jump from that man, Guido Pezzi. Vastly experienced Puma now, it spills the Ulster way. Can Ulster get hands free? They can. Stuart Moore now, swivel of the hips, driving at Jalibert and then driven backwards. McCluskey again with those levers to get that offload away. It's so important to the fluidity of this Ulster attack to keep that momentum going. McNabney now. Doak hurdling the bodies in front of him to try and get to the pace quick enough to keep this Ulster tempo going. Through they come again, this time with Callum Reid. Nathan Doak again, Murphy to Lowry. Can he find a little bit of space? Going through the phases, asking the questions of the Bordeaux defence. Penno thought he had rights there, beautifully done. Timoney, has he stayed in field? Has he grounded that for an Ulster try? No pitch in which to work whatsoever, and in many respects no rights to get to the try line. Beautiful little pop away to find Timoney. Has he done enough?
On-field try, please. Just check his back foot for the
just
touch
his foot and his elbow.
Yeah,
Look, Pierce is having a look at both.
Yeah.
On-field try.
On-field try, so it'll have to be clear to overrule.
Let's see.
Stockdale with a big assist. A big left paw out the back door. Looked like he wasn't sure if he was going to make it, and it surprised himself.
I think that's a try, isn't it?
Elbow's fine anyway. Be interested to see if the director gives us this angle. That's a try, isn't it?
All day long. That is a try. No foot in touch. He's done brilliantly there, Nick Timoney, under massive pressure.
Luke, you may want the try.
Ulster have a third try.
James McNabney needs to take a lot of credit from that. Felt like there was a turning point in that Ulster phase play. Felt like they were tentative, tipping on, looking out the back, and McNabney says, stuff this, I'm going direct, confrontational, got his nose through, and felt like that was a change of tone for Ulster. A couple of phases later, Nick Timoney scoring in the corner.
Doak didn't get a hold of that as he would have liked, so 36 points to 19 it remains, but that's brilliant work from the Ulster pack of forwards, and a lovely little offload again from Stockdale. Two outside, Timoney did the rest.
Validates that decision, that strategy from Jack Murphy. Put the ball into the corner, ask Bordeaux to exit a number of times, and eventually they'll make a mistake.
Which is brilliant to see from an Ulster point of view. A young player growing in stature. Ulster have got the penalty. Interesting to hear Stuart McCluskey, as I mentioned, with 200 caps, say, look, young Jack Murphy at 20 years of age, he's brilliant brain, and he's miles ahead of where so many players at that age are in terms of maturity and game management, and it'll be tested ultimately in this kind of environment.
Yeah, this kind of environment, or the Ulster environment in general. You know, a bit of a rebuild this year. A lot of pressure on his shoulders after Billy Burns did such a good job for a number of years. That's the sort of environment can make or break you, and it looks like it's making him. You can see him growing as the season's gone on, growing in seniority, in his decision making, in his leadership. For 20 years old, that's incredible.
Fourth start in a row in that 10 jersey. Run of games is paying dividends, so it's a brilliant snatch and steal. Jalibert gets this Bordeaux side moving again from the doorstep of their own 22. Space is well covered back there. Alan O'Connor, meantime, has gone off, so Matt Dalton in for Ulster. Mikey Lowry, Scott Wilson as well, who can make an impact in for Tom O'Toole. Can Ulster get a little bit of required punch off the bench? Some of those big ball carriers. Wilson has been excellent this season, particularly as an impact replacement. Stuart Moore keeps them moving again. McNabney growing into the game as it continues now. Zach Ward didn't have too many options. That might be a really good one. Off he goes in chase of his own kick. Jalibert was calm and composed back there, wasn't he? Running out of pitch really quickly, just nonchalantly delivered it back in field. Bordeaux looking to reorganise right on their own try line.
Gelin, s'il vous plaît.
So confident in their own skill sets and own abilities in tight corridors like that. That's a superb exit.
Yeah, I don't think Bordeaux will be getting nervous yet, but they'll just check themselves. Lovely little bit of shape from Ulster in that phase play. Stuart Moore's come in there, added a really important contributor to how that phase play shapes up. Put the ball into Zach Ward's hands. Nice bit of skill, put it in behind. Keep asking questions of them.
Tom Stewart, who's replaced Rob Herring. Did Ulster just get away with one? Forward they come. Stuart McCluskey, as always, having a big impact. So too, one or two of those off the bench so far. Doak now ran up a little bit of a cul-de-sac and then recalibrated, reorganised his thinking. Prods it through.
Take it and go.
Behind their own goal line again, Jalibert, and they throw the ball around. Ulster need to keep them pinned in here. Penno, an element of panic as he tried to nudge one over the top. And you know what? It might just work out for Bordeaux here. Forward they come. Luku was not forward. 3 or 4 was a chorus of Ulster voices enticing the referee to call it forward. He didn't do so, and here come Bordeaux now, pressing the accelerator. Rapid Uberti. Oh, Doak is almost on the end of that. It's gone to an Ulster hand. Somehow Dalton has picked it up. McCluskey, crazy passage of play, and away goes Zach Ward. Can he get there? Incredible! Oh my word, that is sensational. Cavalier from one end to the next. The crowd incensed, but that is a big moment in the game for Ulster and Zach Ward. It was frenzied.
What a passage of play, incredible. Zach Ward, is it? Or Nick Timoney? Someone competes at that breakdown. I think he takes out Samu, who's in the scrum half position. That's what the French crowd are giving off about.
No, we're checking.
Put the ball through,
Okay.
and Zach Ward has enough pace to get there. Put the ball down. Bordeaux looks so dangerous. It looks like in the next minute there's going to be a try, one end or another.
Time is off. I'm just concerned about that hand in the air. Make sure it wasn't one of your boys, that's all.
That's what they're upset about.
Yeah, we're going to check this, please.
And so Andrew Jackson is the voice you'll be able to hear. He's the TMO. Is there a knock on from Nathan Doak here as well?
Okay, so we're going to formalise it, obviously.
It definitely comes off his fingers there.
Oh, it's going to be ruled out.
21 Ulster.
Yeah, so it's no try. You've got the mark there, please.
No try confirmed by Luke Pearce. Fingertip stuff.
Knock on. Back again.
Bit of disappointment, spoiling all the fun, the officials. That was sensational from both sides, really.
Just a scrum, yeah. Unlucky. It's unlucky.
Correct call. It is very unlucky.
Knock on.
And he's just wasted a 50-metre sprint as well.
Yeah.
His legs will be screaming at him for nothing.
I didn't think they did, no. Lads, I thought it was here, but maybe...
But again, plenty of encouragement from an Ulster point of view. Some lovely little segments of play. That cohesion and the link up between the backs and the forwards. As you say, Stuart Moore has more than played his part thus far since coming in. Scott Wilson there wearing 18. We know what he can do with those punchy carries.
Yeah, Luku it was just in the middle of the pitch. Just it felt like if he could get the ball away, then that Bordeaux backline is going to flood this space out wide here. They couldn't make it tell in the end. Luku did get it away. Just everybody's at that stage in the game where there's more fatigue, more mistakes, more surprise, keeping us on our toes.
Aidan Morgan coming in for Jack Murphy. He looks a little bit disappointed, really, to be called ashore at this point. Really good game.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Samu to Luku. Jalibert to Chapuai. Luku again, quickly across. Schallibaert gets the ball away in the nick of time. Uberti is quietly going about his business well. He hasn't had too many attacking opportunities. Latterad takes it on, having come in off the bench in the last couple of minutes. Luku again. Final quarter of the game.
Either side there. No.
Big shot off the ball again. Colin Reid on the receiving end from Matisse Perchot off the ball there. No let up in the intensity.
Yeah, Ulster competing really hard at breakdown. Feels like they've got a lot of impact from that bench. A lot more fight at the breakdown. On that occasion, Bordeaux had to bend the rules to get in to seal the ball. Not sure who the Bordeaux player was, came in the side.
Really big 20 minutes for Aidan Morgan now, having come in to replace Jack Murphy, that he can manoeuvre Ulster around and keep fashioning those half chances. (36-19) with a little under 20 to go. It was 40 points to 19 in Belfast in December. Ulster playing with real verve and confidence. Doak hungry, great appetite for that quick pass for Stuart Moore, was definitely on as he went through a tiny little gap. Now Mikey Lowry again to Stockdale. Every time he touches the ball he looks so dangerous.
Advantage Ulster.
Bordeaux offside as Tom Stewart carries the fight to the Bordeaux Begles defence. They've strayed again so they can spin the dice here. Stuart McCluskey gets it wide. Zach Ward denied a moment ago, just swats away the challenge. They just wrapped up his legs in shackles, otherwise he was through again. Here they come again, coming in waves and surge. Dalton now playing a big role. It's all here for Ulster, surely. They must score. Zach Ward does get in. That is brilliant from Ulster, really, really good. Incessant ball retention, recycling, speed of hand and thought. Brilliant try.
Well, we talked about that wave of intensity and pressure, an X factor. It's coming from Ulster at the minute. They've got they're dynamic enough and physical enough to take Bordeaux up front. Footwork from Zach Ward. He just buys enough time to secure that ball, that breakdown, keep the ball alive. Stuart McCluskey, I think, thought that he could make it himself.
Come on, mate. Let's get on with it.
Last minute change of decision. Just tips it on. Good skills from Zach Ward. Reach behind him and then put it down.
Well, he got there in the end. A very different try to the one he felt he'd scored a few moments ago, but that's academic. Every point absolutely crucial. Ulster, if they've any shot at causing a massive upset, can't afford to leave these conversions unscored. Not to be for Doak. Missile pass out to McCluskey. As you say, he's done well to get that out the back door, hasn't he?
Yeah, McCluskey's been very good today. Now, him and Stuart McCluskey and Stockdale have both been brilliant. McCluskey carrying hard, getting his arms free, getting Ulster going forward. Zach Ward on that occasion coming into the game more and more as this game goes on.
Super take from Matt Dalton. On his 22, hoisted high by Doak. Huge hang time on that. Good kick chase. Followed up by Aidan Morgan. Penno. Again, they're taking risks back there, much to the encouragement of Ulster. And they've turned that over here. It's here. Doak. Two Ulster players out here. Well, we said at the outset they would get opportunities, Ulster. They've scored 4 tries and not done yet. That was another half chance. They did have plenty of options there off turnover ball.
Yeah, Bordeaux looking a little bit rattled, a little bit frantic when the ball goes in behind them. Not quite the same composure or calmness they had earlier in the game, and Ulster just making that really difficult for them. Competing hard, swarming all over any Bordeaux ball carriers. Not sure who it was. The Ulster player got over the ball. Tom Stewart it is. Great job. Then Nathan Doak looks to link to the edge. Van Rensburg is wise to it.
It was good cover from Van Rensburg in the end. Right idea from Doak in terms of 2 Ulster plays being in space. He has made an impact. He's pulling the strings. linking up the play really nicely. Just a little bit unfortunate there.
That's a shame. Callum Reid, so dynamic with the ball, great acceleration, great person to bring into the game. If you can manage to get parity up front, he can bring a bit of pace, a bit of tempo.
You twice in a row. You're having a problem with that line out, an early weight, okay? I suggest just turn it down.
Big collisions.
You all right?
It's been a little bit untidy at times, little pockets in the game from a Bordeaux point of view, where they've got a little bit too loose, a little bit too ragged. It's the DNA, that's the blueprint.
No worries.
Usually it's good enough at the other end.
Oh, sorry. Time off. Which player? HIA Duz.
Someone's going off for a head injury assessment. Not clear yet if it's on the Ulster side or Bordeaux.
Someone on now, yeah. Thank you. Okay. Time on, please.
They're only 12 points behind, and you're slow to say that this performance thus far could have a big impact on Ulster's season. They're in the heat of the battle here. Not done by any stretch of the imagination, but whatever happens from here on in, it's been a brilliant display so far against this caliber of opposition. Keep trying to force the issue.
Bind! Set!
Huge change of personnel, so we'll have to have a look at that scrum again.
Just a reset.
All new front rows on both sides.
Re-enter stability. Yeah, I understand. That's why it's a reset. Time off, please. Just let him get his boot right.
Tom Stewart in there in the centre of the front row. From an Ulster point of view, he's been bereft of any real run of games in the Ulster side, beset by injuries in recent times.
Reset. Time on.
15 tries in the pool stages for Ulster. You think how good they were against the Exeter Chiefs, a weakened Exeter Chiefs team in round 4, albeit, but to come here and score 4 tries in the first hour is hugely impressive.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Take 2 for Luku. Plenty of movement in there as well. Real battle going on. Scott Wilson under pressure. Pressure on both sides. Falati and Pershaw in off that bench, either side of Laterad for Bordeaux Begles. Jalibert eyeing up some field position for Bordeaux to try and re-engage almost for the last 10-12 minutes of this game, get themselves going again.
Yes, Pack will thank him here. Putting the ball straight up the pitch. Looks very straightforward for that Bordeaux pack, that scrum. We haven't seen that much today. Go up the line, slow down the tempo, then finish this game on their terms. Up the tempo when they get the chance here. They want to make a point, finish in the ascendancy.
I mentioned that big win against Toulouse. They were beaten last week by Racing Metro. They don't come here on their tip-top best form. 1-3 and lost 3 of their last 6 in all competitions, which might explain some of the inaccuracies in their game. But here they come rumbling forward, almost a foot in touch, might yet be. It's Mikey Lowry with the red scrum cap in there, doing his best defensive work against some big units.
Okay, Jula.
Luku. Cazo again. Here they come around the corner. Ulster calling for resources over on that left-hand side of the pitch. Luku will go quickly. Wasn't quite 10. Samu now takes it on, needs to be stopped quickly. Forward come those Bordeaux shirts. Space potentially here. Bordeaux knocking on the door, and they'll get the try. Rowan Janssen van Rensburg, well, he's so big and strong and dynamic, almost impossible to stop from that kind of range. Takes his try really well.
Yeah, Bordeaux make their point. Matty Dalton, I think it was, just overstepped the mark. We've seen how competitive Ulster are at breakdown. Luku spots the opportunity. I think Bordeaux had penalty advantage as well. All very simple, all very straightforward. Pump those legs, get over that line. And Ulster couldn't survive. Nathan Doak just gets done with a mismatch. Janssen van Rensburg. Bit of footwork, bit of leg drive, bit of a reach, and gets the job done. Probably puts the game to bed.
Over it goes from the boot of Mathieu Jalibert. Inside the final 10 minutes, they feel it's done and dusted. Home and hose now, quarter-final place against Munster next weekend. Rubber stamp, you feel surely now by that intervention from Rowan Janssen van Rensburg. 10 tries, heading towards 70 points. It's been symptomatic of the weekend. And listen to the reception for the captain, Maxime Luku. Tough boots to fill around here. He's so popular. Ulster want to keep applying the pressure. 43 points to 24. Tells its own story, but they've been really good. Can they keep it going? Final 7 or 8 minutes or so.
Thank you.
Well, there's a little mistake that'll get Ulster into the game again. Carried back into the 22. Further switches required from an Ulster point of view. Oh, that's gone awry from Tom Stewart. Good opportunity in prime field position for Ulster.
Ball still alive.
Slight sense of frustration from Damien Penaud over on that far side. He actually hasn't had too many opportunities this evening, having got that record equaling try so early in the game.
Yeah, he's been quiet in the second half. He wants to stretch those legs, feeling fresh, a little bit more running in him. Wants to join the party. Supporters, French supporters, think this game's over. Now they're starting to have a good time out there.
11 in the Champions Cup this season, brings him level, as I said, with Chris Ashton. He is, of course, also level with the great Serge Blanco in terms of all-time tries for France, with 38 and 56 at test level. Samu's been a constant threat. Doak off the left boot. And it's going to run and run. The chase is on again. It's a really good kick chase. The cover there, just inadequate time.
Hey. I can't hear anyone. Say again. Merci.
Well, it takes an awful lot to win this competition. As many a good team will tell you, they haven't been massively tested through the pool stages. Ulster did a fine job of that in Belfast for 60 minutes before being torn apart. They've made a reasonable fist, and then some of that today again. Asked questions of Bordeaux and come up with some big plays and big tries and made it a real contest. Bordeaux will need to improve over the coming weeks if they are to get that coveted piece of silverware. Fatigue now definitely a factor on both sides, and just a little bit of a look of resignation on the face of Nick Timoney in particular there, where Ulster have given a really good account of themselves, but their race is run, you feel. Plenty of learnings and positivity, I'm sure, for Richie Murphy and his coaching ticket to take from this.
Absolutely, the momentum Ulster will get from this is going to be really important for the next few weeks. They've got to go to Dublin in a couple of weeks. Last few games in URC are crucial for Ulster, so they had to take some energy, some momentum from this game. I feel like no matter what happens in this last 5 minutes, they've done a good job, and they've done exactly that.
Bind! Set! Jula Bordeaux!
2 front rows down, it's at the feet of Samu. And that's a loose pass again. There's been a few little mistakes for Bordeaux. Zach Ward's going to get in for another try, you know. Well, they were a little bit loose, a little bit nonchalant there. The opportunity seized upon by Zach Ward for his second try of this second half and a 5th overall for Ulster.
It didn't look like it was necessarily going to be a huge try-scoring opportunity, but because it's him and he's so clinical, his footwork's good, he's got enough power and enough strength in his upper body just to fend off Jalibert, keep control, keep pumping those legs, enough composure. He's been in that position a number of times through the years in the 7th circuit and did a really good job finishing that one off.
And every time he plays, he looks so dangerous. He's 26, an Olympian, as you say, at 7s level, and sometimes you wonder in terms of the 15s game, where has he been? He's so effective. Up go the flags. It's a further 2 points. Just to embellish this really good, solid performance from an Ulster point of view. Yes, it's come from an error and a mistake, but you've got to take your opportunities. Duly acknowledged, of course, by Jalibert on the other side of things. 70-point mark reached and breached. 11 tries in the game. Scott Wilson. Can Ulster finish with a flourish? You know what, if Jacob Stockdale has anything to say about it, they might just do that. Aidan Morgan off and chase, and on they go. Needs a kind bounce. The pass inside for Doak, might have kicked it. Has it gone forward? Doak will finish, and then we might have a look. Ulster have gone the full length here. Incredible. Started by Stockdale, finished by Doak. We will check it.
Just checking for a possible knock-on at the start.
And a knock-on at the very start of all that.
We can always go back.
Breathless. Andrew Jackson, though, intervening the TMO.
Jacob Stockdale it is here. Out the back. Little bit of a step. Boom. Big fend.
Luke, knock time off, mate. I've not been able to get the images.
Thank you. Play on.
Lovely decision as well from Stockdale. He's been right at the middle of everything that's gone well for Ulster
Luke,
today.
Check.
Okay.
It's the forward pass from Morgan, was it not?
He's definitely dropped it, mate. We just need to establish whether it's definitely gone forward.
Yeah, TMO confident that there's been a drop.
Let's have a look if it goes backwards or forwards then. Okay.
Not seeing anything there.
Yeah, that's unclear, certainly on first viewing.
Yeah, we're working on it.
What defender turns sideways when Stockdale gets the ball? That's mental.
Yeah.
Here it is. Yeah.
So lads, Jacko, I'm ready for a discussion, mate.
No argument on the evidence of that replay. It's a better angle.
Bit of friendly fire from Matty Dalton.
I'll tell you in a second.
That's really unfortunate from Ulster's perspective.
Just time, ball, please, Matthew. Thank you.
Yeah,
lads, it's no try because it's knocked on, but it is a high. But it is a high tackle for the penalty. No try, but a penalty for the high tackle.
It's not much of a consolation. It's something for Ulster to try and build on. They'll get the penalty, but that's another one chalked off.
Thank you.
Now they stand accused of limping over the finish line here a little bit. Bordeaux in their own backyard. Ulster finishing the stronger. Tom Stewart, he's had his issues at line-out time. Not this time. Finding Dalton. Timoney Still full of energy, full of running. Doak, he's made a big impact. He's been excellent in terms of his supply line. Treadwell still going. Aidan Morgan now. Ulster continue to come forward. Murphy out the back now. Options for Lowry. Very deep here. Penno in his gun sights. McNabney in that wide channel. 3 Ulster players in the ruck to secure it, but they're still going. Scott Wilson under pressure that time from Bushleton. Doak again. Murphy. So many playmakers out there from an Ulster point of view. No surprise they're throwing caution to the wind. Treadwell again just pops one off to Matty Ray. Nothing doing on the short side. Murphy again. Stewart, and then Stuart Moore. That's better, coming under the ball from deep at pace, sucking in the Bordeaux cover. Is there space on the near side? Brilliant hands from Jack Murphy. Didn't want to give that pass and invite the intercept from Mofana, I think it was, in the middle of things. Scott Wilson again. 80 minutes are up. 43 points to 31. Will it finish that way? Mikey Lowry into the hands of Penno. It might not, you know. Thunder downfield. 3 against 1 in terms of the foot race back into the Ulster 22. Nobody there to support Tom Stewart, and then the cavalry arrive. Dalton has the whistle going. Players are stopping. I didn't hear it. Don't think it has. Doak, crazy finish to the game with the clock in the red. Everyone absolutely
Relax.
out on their feet. Lungs burning. Nothing in the tank. It's been that type of game at times. Back inside to Doak. Does he have the energy to get up ahead of steam? Mikey Lowry. And it might all just end with that ball trundling into touch over on that far side. Well, it's been huge value for money in terms of the entertainment. 11 tries, 70 plus points. Both sets of players absolutely falling to the turf on the Chaban Delmas, out on their feet. Tanks emptied in every respect. Cyril Cazot in the second row for Bordeaux Begles is the player of the match. But what a game we've had. Many people's pick for the title. They'll go up against bigger and better in future rounds, but Ulster have done everything to put Bordeaux to the pin of their collar. It finishes 43-31 to the French side. But Andrew Trimble, a quick word on Ulster and how well they've carried the fight to this opposition in this arena in front of 35,000.
Yeah, absolutely. Ulster can hold their heads up high. They've got some momentum going into the rest of the season, but Bordeaux just had enough in small patches of the game, enough of a flurry, enough power, enough pace to do the job off turnover. They were very, very clinical, and they just got across the line. Ulster gave them a few concerns, a few worries today, made it an 80-minute game, but ultimately Bordeaux too strong.
Well, Munster caused a big upset up the coast against La Rochelle yesterday. Ulster couldn't quite do it here against Bordeaux. It's over to you, Toulouse, as Bordeaux Begles are into the quarter-finals. 43 points to 31 it finishes at the Chaban Delmas.
fait un peu peur sur certains moments, mais l'essentiel est là avec la victoire.
Comme l'année dernière, vous partez en quart de finale. Qu'est-ce que ça évoque cette fois-ci? Ce sera contre le Munster.
C'est pareil, on rejoue encore une équipe irlandaise et on a vu le match du Munster hier, on sait que ça va être encore un gros match, surtout devant, dans la zone de ruck. C'est vrai qu'ils sont très, très forts sur ce domaine-là, donc à nous de bien bosser cette semaine pour essayer de les contrer sur ce domaine.
Une question un peu plus personnelle, on vous a vu un peu partout dans tous les domaines. Avec cette chaleur, on va chercher où les ressources pour tenir 80 minutes?
Alors, là, c'est tout au mental à la fin, parce que c'est vrai que c'était dur, les premières chaleurs, ça surprend souvent. Mais c'est bien, une fois qu'on a la victoire, on est content de ça. Et après, c'est pas grave si on souffre.
Merci beaucoup Cyril.
Richie, hell of a spectacle out. Oh, pardon. Excusez-moi. Sorry, c'est moi. Richie, an incredible spectacle here at Bordeaux today. What are your reflections on the game?
Yeah, it was an incredible game, wasn't it? End to end, like ball was kept in play long periods. Players on both sides looked very tired at times. They probably done better in the transitionary moments, but I have to say I'm incredibly proud of our players and what they produced today. I think we played some of our best rugby at times, and you know, 1 or 2 scores more, and it could have been a very tight ending. But we wish Bordeaux all the best next week, and we'll get ready for our URC run-in.
What was the feedback going down to the players at half-time and during the match as they ground their way back into it?
It was just around those transitionary moments. We felt we put probably 10-15 minutes of really good stuff together, got 2 tries, but we kept sort of, when the game broke up, we weren't connecting well enough, defending well enough together. So, you know, that comes from ball being in play and also then just the noise level that's here, so people can't really hear what's going on. So it's a very unique place to come and play rugby.
Any particular performances stand out for you from your boys? I know all of them, but...
Yeah, I would be unable at the moment to sort of single somebody out. All I can say is the commitment all week to putting a plan together, to turning up, to coming over here, nobody giving us a chance, and to what we produced on the day. Yes, we're disappointed we didn't win, but we've got something to build on here.
Performance to be proud of. Go and get with your boys. Thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
Cheers, mate. Well done. Well, Noel, an incredible spectacle for us, the spectators. What were your feelings throughout the match?
Yeah, I suppose the first thing you got to do is give a lot of credit to Ulster. You know, I think a lot of teams at 21-0 down, you know, might have struggled a little bit. They came back at us. They got a couple of tries at the end of that first half, and yeah, again in the second half, they never went away. You know, we spoke about it during the week. We spoke about it again this morning. How much this competition means to the Irish teams and how difficult they are to beat. So I think that was very much in evidence today. Obviously, for us, you know, the most important thing is getting through to the next round, and yeah, what a challenge that's going to be.
You seemed to find space out wide, particularly on your right early on. Was that part of the plan, or just the way it panned out?
I think it's just the way it panned out. You know, the goal is to play the space where it is, and you know, I thought particularly on the counter-attack we had some really good moments. To be honest, we probably lacked a little bit of accuracy in the first half. I think there was probably 3 or 4 more really high-value opportunities that we could have put away, and it could have been a very different game for us at half-time. So, you know, that'll be the focus for us. We got a short turnaround. It's only 6 days, and you know, realistically speaking, we probably know that won't be good enough. But I felt that overall it's a positive and lots for us to work on.
Well, it's good to get a home quarter final at least, and obviously more from the team. How much further do you think this team can go in terms of performance?
Oh, listen, there's lots more in us. You know, we got a couple of boys coming back in on Tuesday to bring back a little bit of energy and hopefully jig it back up again. And yeah, ultimately, you know, the objective is to go as far as we can. We worked very, very hard. I think I mentioned it at the start of the interview or at the start of the game. We worked very, very hard to get the opportunity to play at home, and we want to make the absolute maximum of it. And you know, that continues next Saturday.
All the best with it.
Thank you very much.
Well, Jacob, I know you guys are used to giving away a bit of a start recently, but against a team like Bordeaux, that really must have rocked you right at the start of the match.
Yeah, look, we knew what they were about coming over here, and to be honest, it's probably kind of what we expected. We knew we'd come out of the blocks hard, and we probably kept the ball on the pitch a bit too long, and like that's what they like, is that offloading continuity game, and I think we played into that a bit too much in the first kind of 20 minutes or so.
Be easy for that to knock to your confidence. Obviously, that didn't happen with you guys. What were the messages in the team, and what was the feeling on the field as you worked your way back into the game?
Yeah, look, to be honest, like I'm incredibly proud of the lads and how they went about their business today. Like I know we shipped 43 points, but to put 31 on a team like that, you know, I don't think anybody gave us much of a chance going into it, and I'm incredibly proud. And that was kind of the messaging during the game was, look, like we're here to fire shots, we're here to have a go, and I think we did that brilliantly. They were probably just a better team today, and it's disappointing for us, but I think we can walk away with our heads held pretty high.
Well, your big runners, particularly in the backs, the big heavy carriers came more and more into the game. Hot out here, was it actually enjoyable to play with, and did you really get a good feel like you were in this match?
Yeah, 100%. Like the whole way through the game, I felt like I had space, and I felt like I was able to do a bit of damage. And I know, like Stu, I had some good carries in the middle, like Zach and Mikey in the back three as well. Like they looked really dangerous. So yeah, like it was a really fun game to be a part of. It was brutal at times. Like if you look at the end there, I think there's most of the lads were on the ground, including the Bordeaux boys. So yeah, it was a tough game for a lot of the time, but it was really enjoyable as well.
Well, commiserations, but congratulations on a good performance away from home.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Thank you so much. Well, Pete, hot game, open game. What was it like to play in?
Yeah, it was good. Good open game at the start for us anyway, and as you saw there, second half was a bit tough. We made it a bit tough for ourselves, but full credit to Ulster. They came out second half and made us work for that victory.
Now, you lost your number off the jersey. Is that just a result of the fact that your role is kind of roving everywhere on the field? How do you pick and choose your moments and where you put yourself?
Yeah, I sort of just try and run off the firepower that we got in the backs, and the big boys do a lot of the grunt work in the front, so which allows me to play sort of a bit open. So yeah, kind of found myself and got a few touches there in the end, so it was good.
What was the feeling? What were the messages amongst the boys as the game wore on and Ulster came back into the game? What did you guys have to do to sort of see it out?
Oh well, we didn't want to stop playing, and we didn't want to sort of guard the lead there. But as I said, full credit to Ulster. They definitely made us work there. We held them out, so we earned the next week. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You got a home quarter final now. Congratulations and all the best.
Perfect. Thank you. Cheers, mates.
Well done.
More. Saying, men, center men. Broke away. Onside. More. Saying, men, center men. Broke away. Onside. More. Saying, men, center men. Broke away. Onside. En jeu, Bordeaux. Yeah, I got it. Bordeaux, la ligne. Shoot! Lèche, lèche. En jeu, Bordeaux. Lèche. Yeah, I got it. Bordeaux, la ligne. Shoot! Lèche, lèche. En jeu, Bordeaux. Lèche. Yeah, I got it. Bordeaux, la ligne. Shoot! Lèche, lèche. je l'ai. Première fois. Bordeaux. Maintenant, je l'ai. Still advantage. Still advantage. Still advantage. Still advantage. Advantage. Not 10 advantage. Advantage. Not 10 advantage. same. Mem, c'est le même. Broke away. Onside. Stop it.
Deuxième essai pour notre équipe, le Normand de Begles. Il est inscrit par notre numéro 3. Et c'est pour le Ulster, inscrit par un intermédiaire de son numéro 3, Toniol Otol.
Lèche. Yeah, I got it. Bordeaux, la ligne. Shoot! Lèche, lèche. Try here.
Pour le Ulster, inscrit par l'intermédiaire de son numéro 6, James Aklabi.
Yeah. Jacko, I have the ball very clearly on the line at the end. No.
Nouvel essai pour notre équipe, le Normand de Begles, inscrit par notre numéro 15, Romain.
C'est mi-temps. Half time, boys. Première fois. Bordeaux. Maintenant, je l'ai.
Inscrit par notre numéro 2, il s'appelle Maxime.
advantage. Oh, come on, mate. Let's get on with it. Advantage. Not 10 advantage.
Il est inscrit par notre numéro 22. Juan Amadou. Ici, pour le Ulster. Pour le Ulster, UBB 43, Ulster 31. Oh, tu le prends! Vite, vite!